guys, Sapphire Yagami. I'm here with a review of Once Upon a Time, Season 6, Episode 1. So within this episode, as we left off last season, you know, Regina ripped the evil queen out of her, and she thought she was getting rid of her for good. However, she was wrong. Because obviously in this episode, we're dealing with the fact that you gotta love all of yourself. You gotta love all yourself. That's clearly the theme of this theme of the season. So the episode actually starts off in Agrabah. Arabian nights, Arabian day. You know how long I've been waiting to see freaking Aladdin on Once Upon a Time? Ever since they mentioned Jafar in the spinoff Wonderland, I'm like, where's Jasmine? Where's Aladdin? Where is the genie? Where is Agrabah? I've been waiting for this. Like, freak yeah. And the guy who's playing Jafar is the guy who played in The Mummy, Oded Fair. I'm like, yes. I had a crush on him since The Mummy, but like, yes. Anyway, so Jafar comes to find Aladdin, and he's like, oh, look how you have fallen. Basically saying, and he ends up telling him that, you know, you're going to fall like all saviors do. You're going to die. And we see, like, Aladdin's hand is like shaking, right? And then, bad cats. So then we go back to Storybrooke, and we find out that Hyde, who is, you know, of course, if you know the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Jekyll ripped out Hyde from his person because he thought, you know, it's a bad part of me. I don't need that. I'm like, Anyway, so Hyde ends up bringing a couple of people from the Land of Untold Stories. So you're like, that's a lot of untold stories because there's a lot of people. So we see the people, Snow and Charming, go out to the forest, you know, say, you know, if you guys need to, you come to the diner. Come to the diner, you know, get you something to eat. We set you up with a nice room, you know, figure out what's going on. And so with that, they're going to also have Henry pretty much get everybody's story to see who are these people, where they're from. Because when you see the people, they all have different time period clothes. Like some of them look like they're Victorian area. Some of them look like, could be like Indian or something. You know, some of them was actually cowboys. I'm like, cowboys? Cowboys. I was like, some of the characters you just, you know, the extras you just look at like cowboys. That would be interesting. Snow White in the Wild Wild West. Anyway, so with Emma, she's starting to have this little shaky thingy that we saw Aladdin have early in the episode. So she's freaking out, and she ends up meeting this oracle who basically tells her, helps her with the flashes of visions that she has. She sees visions, she's fighting, you know, you know, like she does, because she's the savior. But she ends up dying in this vision, and the oracle tells her that this is her future. And she's like, oh, snap, you know what I'm saying? So that vision pretty much has her freaked out. She's not telling her mom or her dad or Hook, or basically anybody. Meanwhile, with Regina, her sister Zelena moved in the house, and we see Zelena has pretty much become straight into mommy mode, like toys and stuff is everywhere. She's like, oh, hi, Regina. You know, I'm like, aw, look at Zelena. Aw. So Regina starts freaking out on her sister because Robin's son had gave Zelena a feather, and Zelena said she has it somewhere. So Regina just freaks out and stuff, so which causes her sister Zelena to move back out into that old little place where she ends up meeting the evil queen. So my issue with that whole situation with Zelena, I'm going to talk about after I get to this part. Meanwhile, with Rumpelstiltskin, he got to Belle. So he goes into her head where he meets this man named Morpheus. I'm like, ooh, Morpheus. So he basically goes into Belle's subconscious, and he sees that she's constantly, she in her, pretty much in her mind, she's with him when he was the Beast. You know, that's how she basically sees him, as he's the Beast. So he basically tries to win her back over, and she doesn't fall for it. And then Morpheus reveals himself to be their son. I'm like, yo, did Rumpelstiltskin just get cock blocked by his own kid? Like, damn. And he's like, I just want to make sure, Mom, that you didn't fall for his lies again. And then Belle was all like, our son. Well, to make sure I did not make a mistake for his safety. Da, 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 da. And so she basically leaves Gold. I'm like, Belle, Like, in the beginning, I was rooting for Rumple, like, because I love them together. But my thing with Belle is, like, she act like nobody could be effing evil. It's like, and this was what I actually hope she learns in this season as well, since we're dealing with the idea of the good and bad parts of a person. And the fact that with Jekyll and Regina, they literally ripped the bad parts of themselves out. They ripped out the evil queen and Hyde. Not understanding that, okay, as a person, you're going to have some good and bad in you. You're not going to be a good person all the time. But you're not freaking Superman, basically, is what I'm saying. You're not Superman. I mean, even though Superman does have his limits, as we see if you play the video game Injustice, Gods Among Us. He has his limits. He has his limits. He could be driven to that point. But what I'm saying is that it's what I want her to, hopefully she learns it, is that, you know what, if you love Rumpelstiltskin, you gotta take his good and his bad. You can't just want Rumpelstiltskin to be goody all the time. You can't just want the good part in the person and basically deny the evilness that is in him. Like, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. If you're gonna be with somebody, you gotta love all the parts of them. It's death to his part, and sickness and health, the good and the bad. So hopefully Belle actually learns that within this season. I really hope she does, because at this point she's getting under, like, I love her character in the beginning, but now at this point it's just like Belle. Anyway, with Emma, with her whole vision of her fact that she's dying, she's gonna die sometime in the future. She's freaking out. Personally, I would really love Emma to tell her family and people who cares about her, you know, tell them this. But of course, Emma's gonna deal with this on her own, because she feels that, you know, she's a savior. You know, this is her job, and I guess for her, it's been a progress of her letting her walls come down, because she kept them up for so long. And, you know, she's finally you know, in this place with Hook. And, well, it's just, I guess this will just be another test of their relationship. And so then also with Regina and her sister Zelena, okay, my thing with her, the sisterly bond, okay, we obviously see them have some sort of, you know, got closer last season. But with Regina pushing her away, you're just going to push her into the clutches of your old self, I guess you could say. Like, you're supposed to, like, you both lost Robin. She lost the father of her daughter, father of her child. And you lost, you know, a soulmate. But pushing your sister away, you know, constantly not giving her the benefit of the doubt. You would think Regina, who was the evil queen for so long, and when she did, you know, get on this path to, you know, to good, would actually understand, would be the person who actually understands Zelena's struggle the most. You've been through this, Regina, already. So, as your sister, for Zelena, who was known as the Wicked Witch of the West, you would think that you would be the most understanding person for her, the most understanding person in her struggle on this path to goodness. You would think you would be the most understanding, but no, you're just pushing her away because you're still upset about what happened to Robin. Basically, you're still upset, and you're placing the blame on Zelena. Meanwhile, if you remember last season, she told Zelena to go and, you know, pretty much go to Hades. You know what I'm saying? Hades ends up killing Robin. So you're placing that blame onto your sister. Like, your sister was not responsible for his death. Hades killed him. Hades killed him, and Robin stepped in front of you, because Hades was actually going for you, if you remember correctly. He was actually going for Regina, but Robin stepped in front of you because, you know, sometimes you do that for the ones you love. Yeah. So what Regina needs to do is actually sit down and talk to her sister, because every time we see her have an issue, I mean, which I'm not really against, is when she sits down and talks to Snow, because secondly, by definition, Snow is her stepdaughter, since, you know, she married Snow's daddy. that is kind of basic. Wait a minute. Snow. Oh, this the family tree, and once upon a time just hurt my head just now. Snow is her stepdaughter, but Henry is also her adopted child. But Snow is the grandmother of Henry. Okay, yeah, my brain's hurting. Just trying to. Oh God. Oh, that really hurts. But anyway, what Regina is, I don't knock at the fact that, you know, her and Snow can actually have this part where they can talk to each other, but it's just that, okay, that's nice you're talking to Snow, but you also need to sit down and talk to your sister. Talk. People, I think that's another thing that's wrong in a lot of these TV shows, is people don't talk. I don't care whether there's a show like Supernatural or Rain. They don't talk to each other. And with this lack of communication, all it does is develop more and more problems. Basically, it just develop more problems. But overall, I really love the theme of the season. I love it. Good. And we're going to have Aladdin. I'm so excited. And not only that, because we have the Land of Untold Stories, as Regina's, did she say it in this episode? No, she says in the next episode. Anyway, as I said, you know, we got the theme of, you know, the good and bad of you, learning to accept that, all of you. We also got more into the savior history, which we really didn't have before. We just know Emma was the savior, and that was it. So now we actually have like a sort of a history of savior, and that, you know, there's other saviors such as Aladdin. So we'll get more to the story, and maybe the vision that Emma has is not actually her future, but a possible outcome. Because you gotta remember, the future is always changing because of decisions you make today. You know, if the future is not set in stone, as you know, the saying goes, it's not set in stone. So that could be just one possible future for Emma. You know, this one possible future, but there could be other choices. Whew. Well, anyway, comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time for the next episode of Once Upon a Time.